Welcome to another stream. Hello, hello, hello. Today, we are going to listen to Crypt's new album. Of course we are. Why wouldn't we? The desktop view probably won't be too relevant for most of the stream, so I'm just going to turn it off. Well, I'll just keep it here. We're just gonna turn it off for now. We don't really need it, except for Buried Alive. I want to see the new music video, so I will be putting that on the screen when we get to Buried Alive. So that is the last song on the album, Buried Alive, that is. So we're gonna see, starting on Tales from the Crypt Part 2. That's where we're gonna start this. Give us ads. Someone really wants ads over there on Twitch. Damn. That's a ad hungry man over there. Did someone I don't know the demand for ads, but I mean, I guess if you really want them, you can have them. All right, so let's start. What I'm going to do with this mostly is I'm going to listen to like the entire song, and then we'll talk about it. I might pause if something like really hits me, but this is an album I actually want to listen to.
Welcome, you butt brother.
I got to turn that off. I got to turn off that notification guy. Alert box can go up, but we need it to not make noise. So actually, we're just going to turn off the alert box for this stream. So alert box is off. We're here to listen. But I might pause at certain points, but most of my analysis is going to come at the end of each song. I'm going to kind of go into detail after each song so we can actually listen to it. So let's just get into this. The first song is Tales from the Crypt 2. Let's see how this bad boy starts.
This right here is how I kick off the album.
Right a fucking way. Okay, I wasn't ready. Let me get ready. Let's listen to this song and then we'll talk about it.
This right here is how I kick off the album. I don't really care about the outcome. I just want to tell a couple stories and prove to everybody that I'm more than you think about me times 1,000. I spent the last year looking back on my accomplishments, ignoring all the compliments I don't ever really talk about. Cause the second that I do, one of you is gonna choose to ruin my mood and bring me down some. I can never get a glimpse of happiness cause every time it happens I just think about the accidents that might come. People on the internet remind me that I ain't shit and I agree with them, but I pretend that I doubt them. I remember backstage back in Omaha, Mac told me stop making rap records all about him, but it's hard because a part of me doesn't even want a part of this shit, but the other part was all of it. I'm in the middle like Malcolm. How come every time I open my feed there's so many comments full of positivity, but the second something's negative it's inevitable that in my head all the positive has been outdone. If you dealt with the hatred I get on a day-to-day basis, I promise you wouldn't make it, so don't even try. The only person that should hate me is myself, and I do, but you, I've never even given you a reason why. And more times than not I lay in bed and I sigh, thinking what it would be like if I were to die. That's the time you see me hop on the Instagram live and chat with you guys running away from my mind. Somebody says some dumb shit to get under my skin, then I circle back around to where my night begins, and I'm trapped with my thoughts to bring my life to an end. I saw a therapist back in college and he didn't do shit. Now my life is like Ring Around the Rosie, spinning in circles, burning to ashes slowly, writing my hurt down in a verse before it gets worse, and I have to book a fucking hearse to hold me. And these albums are where I let it all hang out and show my scars for all to play loud. My mom didn't even know I tried to kill myself until I put Tales from the Crypt out. I remember writing some of those tracks I couldn't even record in the studio with Joey crying like a baby boy. All the scars are real and all the stories are facts, so if you listen you'll see I'm way more than fast raps. Why it affects me bad, and I get real mad when these people tell me that I only rap real fast. Alright, copy this, alright, copy that, alright, sound like him, alright, sound like that, cause I pull it all out deep from inside, back from the depths of my dark black mind. Each track that I decide to write shaves off a couple good years of my life. I debated on dropping this or not, I can't lie, cause no matter what it's gonna be an uphill climb. Cause before you even click you got a thought of what this is, and every time I do that thought you're gonna box me in. I got the stigma of a fast white rapper, cause I'm white and I rap fast, but why can't I just rap how I like and you listen without labeling my craft? Cause I do rap fast but I also rap slow. For Christ's sake, I've shown you part of my soul. I'm not okay. Night of September, the end. These are examples of my holes. These are the parts of my soul that I wrote and took from my dome. It's spoke so you can relate back home. These are the locks of my brain that I broke and dove into so you can know what I know. And this album is more of that. I've got so many these stories that have been untapped. So sit back and listen and buckle up for the ride. It's the tales from the crypt on how I'm buried alive.
Okay, wow, we just start. All right, let's talk about this song. This is a review and reaction stream. I'm doing a little differently than what you might be used to on the channel. I want to let the entire songs play through and then give some feedback review reaction. All right, so it's a very NF vibe to start with the album. This gives me a lot of Nate vibes. I know he said all the comparisons, blah, 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 but, you know, we're going to do what we're going to do. Very, very NF sort of an intro, a thematic soundscape, produced beautifully. I really liked how it sounded. We had some shots at Screw at the start, I believe, when he was talking about being in Omaha, Nebraska, and guys telling him not to make certain songs anymore. So I think there was some shots at Screw. There was something else at that part I wanted to hit on to. Oh, yeah, he did a Malcolm in the Middle bar. I did a Malcolm X Malcolm in the Middle bar on a beat very similar to this, which is interesting. He's obviously not taking it from me. I just thought it was funny that we both had the same idea on an instrumental like this. The one I made myself, but just to have that Malcolm in the Middle bar. I tied mine to Malcolm X as well, but anyway, that stuck out to me because I've done it before. So this track is a good welcome to the album track. I wouldn't personally run this one a bunch of times. I do like what it is. This is a very thing that if you're a fan of my music, you're going to be a fan of this track because it's a very emotionally vulnerable track talking about a lot of stuff that happens when you're in the YouTube spotlight, as it were, the assumptions people make, your own self-doubts, your own mental illness, and all of that. So I feel like this is a song that's going to resonate heavily with people. And it's a very personal song to open the album. It gives you a nice little intro. I don't usually like re-listening to intro songs on albums, even when they're good, because I just feel like, okay, let's get into it. And the let's get into it is going to be now Call It Quits. So this is song number 2, Call It Quits. Let's get it.
Blood is running down my face, tears are forming in my eyes. Father always told me pain is temporary, keep in stride. Lift your head up, don't you cry. Fighters always will survive. The hurt you feel inside can only mean that you're alive. Keep your head down and dig it.
And we've heard this one.
God will provide you vision and lead you where you need to be. If you just shut up and listen and ignore the opposition, they just want your position. They want to X you out like the atheist.
And I might as well put up the music video for this one. For those of you who haven't seen it. Let me find it. This one for me, when I heard it, was my least favorite of the ones he released, and we're gonna see as we listen to it again if I how I feel about it on a second run, because I haven't listened to it since the reaction.
Blood is running down my face, tears are forming in my eyes. Father always told me pain is temporary, keep in stride. Lift your head up, don't you cry. Fighters always will survive. The hurt you feel inside can only mean that you're alive. Keep your head down and digging. God will provide you vision and lead you where you need to be. If you just shut up and listen and ignore the opposition, they just want your position. They want to X you out like the atheist do to Christ and Christmas. Don't ever stray away from this path that you'll create. Get that tunnel vision, don't you quit, keep working every day. So I made a promise to myself that when I hear that final bell, I'ma give it everything that I got, and I told God I will not fail until I'm on my deathbed and I'm staring into heaven's eyes. I will never let nobody else control my life. I'ma wake up and I'll take what's mine. Ain't no way I'll wait in line. Life is moving way too fast for me to be stuck back in time. You can take away everything that I ever worked for. I'ma keep on pushing till I earn more. I won't never fall. Won't never break. Won't never crack. Won't never split. Won't never stop. Won't never lag. Won't never call it quits. Call it quits. You can try to hold me back, but I'll always find my own way. 'Cause I am a beast that you won't tame. I won't never fall. Won't never break. Won't never crack. Won't never split. Won't never stop. Won't never lag. Won't never call it quits. Call it quits.
You can tell, just look in the sky, the angels are near. Came out the gutter with Pennywise, I was facing my fears. I made it out the streets, even though I was left to die. Still I sprouted out the concrete despite the pesticides. Somehow I bloomed to a beautiful rose. I was consumed with the blues, such a musical soul. This industry is full of hardships and politics, but I will never call it quits. In fact, I want all of it. You see fire in my eyes, even though I'm criticized. I have been vilified, belittled and minimized. If you ever dealt with depression, I really empathize. Promise you the more money you make, the shit
And that's Call It Quits. Still my personal least favorite that I've heard from the album, but if that's the low point of the album, that's a pretty good low point to have. It's just not my personal taste. So that's song number 2, Call It Quits. That's the feature-heavy song. For me, it just kind of sits in a lull of I've heard this before, and I didn't necessarily want to hear it again. But I know a lot of people really like the song. But it's just a very mediocre, forgettable thing, even on its second listen for me. But I really liked the intro to the album. And now the production of this is also very, very pleasing on the ears. I like that it's just straightforward hip-hop production. It's not trying to do things that it's not. It's not trying to be super epic. It's just the right level of what you would want to hear. So let's get to number 3. Song number 3, I Won't Miss You.
My whole entire life can go out like a flame. One last wish and I will blow it away. But before I go, I've got one thing to say. I won't miss you. And my whole entire life can go out like a flame. One last wish and I will blow it away. But before I go, I've got one thing to say. I won't miss you at all. I saw you yesterday for the first time in 3 years. I almost didn't recognize you. We locked eyes, but you pretended we didn't, and it seemed clear. You saw me, and it terrified you. You probably thought of all the awful things you did to me in past time, and everything came rushing back in. But that's just water underneath our bridge, so let's cross that bridge, and I'ma push you in. I saw you hiding that ring on your left hand, probably shopping for a shirt for his best man. You wouldn't hide it if you didn't feel a single ounce of guilt about you leaving what we built and what was next planned. I hope you go to sleep tonight, and all you dream about is me and all the awesome memories that we had let stand. And you text me in the morning saying sorry that you didn't talk to me, and I'ma leave that message left read. And when I go to sleep tonight, I'ma make sure that I pray for you. Pray that he can treat you like you want and like I couldn't do. Pray that he's the reason that you smile all the time. Pray that he can keep you happier than any guy. Pray that you were living in the dream that you wanted. Pray you wake up every morning with a husband that's supportive. And I pray that all your prayers have been answered and he's heaven sent, and then he cheats on you like I never did. I'm praying that it rains on your wedding day. Tears from the heavens gates from my grandma, cause you didn't show up at her wake. Why was that so hard to make? Probably cause you knew the way you treated me was evil and she wouldn't want you anyway. I pray that when you look him in the eyes at the altar, you only see the times that you'll fail and you'll falter. Your marriage will flop cause you're frail in your heart, and you'll finally realize that you're a monster. My whole entire life can go out like a flame. One last wish and I will blow it away. But before I go, I've got one thing to say. I won't miss you. And my whole entire life can go out like a flame. One last wish and I will blow it away. But before I go, I've got one thing to say. I won't miss you at all.
Bro, what? All right. Don't let him talk. We've heard before. Let's talk about I Won't Miss You. My goodness. Okay, this I love this song because I've known for a long time Crypt. He's got other abilities. I'm curious if that's him on the guitar. It could be. But I just love seeing him embrace his other musical stylings. That song, like, that's an easy certified classic breakup type song. That is like a 10 out of 10 fucking song. I haven't heard something like that from Crypt before, and I love it. Oh, Crypt is in here. Crypt, I was literally about to call you because of how happy I am about this song, but I'm gonna wait till I'm done with the album. But that was something else, and I'm ready to hear other shit in this because that I've known for a long time. Crypt's got that in the pocket, and I'm so glad to see it in one of his albums, just having him embrace things aside from the rap that everyone always asks him to do, because that song was top shelf. Absolutely loved everything about it. There's nothing I would change on that song. I like how it's produced. I love how it sounds. I like the use of pitch correction on his voice to give him that pop star vibe without T-paining him up. That was fan-fucking-tastic. So let's, now we're going to listen to, I think Let 'Em Talk, that one has the video as well, right? And if you're just joining the stream, we're listening to the whole song of each of these, and then we're talking about it. I know that's different for my my usual pause happy reactions, but the reason I'm doing it is because this is an album I've been personally looking forward to, so I want to actually hear it and experience it and give my feedback that way. Not that you can't experience a song while you're pausing. I mean, honestly, I really can, but I just want to just listen to this album. So that song was amazing. Let 'Em Talk, we've heard. I like this song. This is a definitely different mood than the one we just heard, but let's get into it.
I was gone for a minute, but I'm back and got some things to say. People talking about me, but they talking about the same old things. They worry about my day, and they worry about my life. If they talk behind my back, it just means that they are behind it. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let them talk. This gon' be the last time I dress this, cause quite frankly I'm getting pissed off. Wanna be the bad guy on my hit list, cause his shit don't get no talk. So he wants to put my name in his mouth. Boy, you better sit down. Man is mad that he's performing for an empty house, but I sold it out. My mama always told me that jealousy rears its face in the face of adversity. Then verses would come my way, but just ignore it. Keep it soaring, leave them sore in the face. They ain't important, you're worth more than their entire estate. So just sit back and laugh at their ass. Keep on stacking that cash. Let them talk if it'll get them off. What they speak just means that they mad. They just want what you got, son, but refuse to do what you did to top them. So the only option that they're gonna rock with is to keep on talking while you keep on walking. So let them talk for a minute, but I'm back and got some. If you're gonna keep on talking behind my back, then I'll just do great things in your face. If you're gonna focus on my career, then it appears you're the one to blame. That you're gonna be in my shadow, half stone staring at my backbone and asshole. You know it's a fact, bro, that I'm that dope. Rap circles around you like I'm a lasso. Went from rags to riches. You just sit back and bitching. Like if you keep babbling, I'ma feel bad and give your ass commission. But I have no sympathy for you. I don't care about the shit that you went through. You only care about me when it's something you need and it's so convenient for you. Then you get up on the internet and act like I left you and tell everybody that I when it blew up. I forgot about my friends, I forgot about my fans, I forgot everybody who helped me get to the top. And I'm a selfish motherfucker, don't deserve what I got. But now I'm happy that I never even brought you along. If this is how you act when your homies get on, bro, you gon' always be alone. I was gone for a minute, but I'm back and got some things to say. People talking about me, but they talking about the same old things. They worry about my day, and they worry about my life. If they talk behind my back, it just means that they are behind it. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let them talk.
Should I let them talk? Never know. Y'all are more corny than ethanol. I got no patience for Twitter tweeting. If we really beefing, then I pull up with a weapon drawn. Came in this bitch like a wrecking ball, using my pistol and Uzi like do. Mad every time before they set me off. I am becoming the villain when I kill them like Ben and all. Skirt. Pull up to the fucking murder scene. Dead body with the flies buzzing like a worker bee. So much uncertainty, there's sure to be some absurdity. With the witnesses, it occurred to me, if they're squealing then I'll be serving like 300 years in the pen. So I'm never gonna let them talk either with friends. But I fear that it's nearing the end. I got demons appearing again every time that I'm searing the pen to the paper. The lyrics offend every person who's hearing it. They're in defense, I've been cheering against this American cancel culture fucking arrogant. Shit has been wearing me, then it's embarrassing. Treating me like I'm a terrorist. I'ma go veering the bend as I'm staring the bench till I rearing the deer. It's a miracle that I was carrying left, cause I had a few beers at appearance events. All these motherfuckers dropping me to drinking, and it has me thinking all the stress I'm dealing with has got me barely clinging on to winning. Now my eyes are shrinking, no, there's not an inkling of hope. I don't really wanna see no internet trolls telling me I'll never be dope. Every beat I kill so cold, will bust flows till I rip my soul. Real hustle when I get up in the stool with the real ones and spill blood, cause I'm still cutthroat. Until the day I wanna make it, I'ma be a renegade until the haters never gonna emulate them. Crypt and I make green paper, we live a life you could never dog. Meme makers are weak haters, they're unhappy and already lost. RIP as I cremate them, you hot flashing like menopause. Give a fuck about a little chump, middle finger up as I let them talk.
I was gone for a minute, but I'm back and got some things to say. People talking about me, but they talking about the same old things. They worry about my day, and they worry about my life. If they talk behind my back, it just means that they are behind it. Let them talk.
All right, that is Let 'Em Talk. We did a whole reaction video on that one. You can get some more detailed thoughts from me on that. JAA, shout out to you. Let 'Em Talk, as far as like one of the like puff out your chest songs and fuck the haters, I liked a lot better than Call It Quits, which kind of has a similar vibe to that. I thought Luke Gahn's verse was top shelf. It's a good song. I think it's very relatable, especially to any other artists in the YouTube scene. It doesn't resonate as much with me as I Won't Miss You. Not that song I have a huge personal resonation with. I just really like this song. I love how it sounds. So now we're getting into our next one. I Don't Wanna, song number 5. I Don't Wanna. So I'm excited because now it's another one I haven't heard. Now it's going to be pretty much all of them that I haven't heard except for Bad Friend. And I think that's it. No, I've heard Rapping From My Closet. So Bad Friend and Rapping From My Closet, I think are the last ones that I've heard, if I'm correct. Which, let's get into the new stuff. I am excited. All right, I Don't Wanna.
I don't want to shop for no black slacks. I don't want to shop for no dress shoes. I don't want to shop for a black tie. I don't want to shop for a black suit. I don't want to hear a bunch of phone calls. I don't want to hear we're sorry for your loss. I don't want to see a bunch of people contact me acting like they even cared at all. I don't want to see a bunch of RIPs filling up another Facebook feed. I don't want another text from a fake friend saying that they're thinking of me. I don't want my name in no newspaper. I don't want to meet another caretaker. I don't want another conversation with someone that's telling me that God's plan is greater. I don't want another 3-day event. I don't want no more sadness to bathe in. I don't want another body to identify on a table that is stainless. I don't want another plot I have to pick. I don't want another hearse I have to rent. I don't want another verse from the Bible that the pastor keeps drilling inside of my head. I don't want another visitation to attend, waiting for the service to begin, knowing half the audience is only there to get bereavement, leaving a 3-day weekend. I don't want to have another flower that is pinned to my chest for the moment, knowing that I have to place it on the blanket of the casket as we take it to the grave to lower. I don't want to be another pallbearer. I don't want to see my father volunteers. I don't want to smell the fragrance of the flowers at the funeral home as I bow in prayer. I don't want another front row seat. I don't want to hear another eulogy. I don't want to listen to the pastor tell me stories of the person right in front of me. I don't want to touch another cold hand. I don't want to say that I don't understand. I don't want to hear that that's the shell of the person I once loved on a casket stand. I don't want to see a bunch of old pictures reminiscing on the times I'm missing, looking around through these watery eyes for a tissue to stop them from dripping. I don't want to have to listen to another sermon. I can't pay attention because my heart is hurting, knowing that I'll never ever see them again, and this pain that I have is eternal. I don't want to hear another organ play another sad song like Amazing Grace, or go rest high on that mountain while I'm shouting, asking why he couldn't let him stay. I don't want to lock arms with my older brother standing over top of corpse. I don't want to say no more last words as they close the casket door. I don't want to feel the dead weight in my hands as we pick up the body on the count of 3, knowing that the person that I loved my entire life is lying next to me. I don't want to load another loved one up. I don't want another purple flag in my truck. I don't want another funeral procession driving through the town, messing traffic up. I don't want to make another right turn, going through the cemetery gates, only seeing just a handful of my family members show up at the wake. I don't want to have to pull another casket from the back of the hearse as I'm fighting back, crying, and carry it right to the burial site, and then sit at the side while everyone is silent and watch as they drop the casket in the ground. Slowly now, to 6 feet down, and look around as we all cry and we all say our final goodbyes. I don't want to watch them pour the dirt on. I don't want to accept that they're really gone. I don't want to forget that they ever existed, acting like my life will continue on. I don't want to see the time go fast and watch the straw on the gravesite grow in the grass, slowly thinking less and less about them while they lay alone under a stone plaque. I'm just saying that I need some answers, something that can make some sense of this, something that can put my mind at ease, something that gives me a reason to live. Until then, I'm just out here with ghosts, steady looking for my faith, forever searching for my soul, but I feel like I'm walking in place.
So that song, obviously, I like how every song ends with the being buried a little more sound effect. Ugh, I feel a sneeze coming on. I'm trying to see if it's going to actually hit or not. So yeah, lyrically, that one's obviously powerful. It's pretty straightforward, the message there. From a sound perspective, musical perspective, that's probably not one I would listen to a bunch of times over again. I think it's something that I enjoy experiencing. But the stanza, the repetitious stanza, which was obviously the point of the song, I don't wanna, just for 3 straight minutes, like I would want it broken up by like a chorus or a hook or something, and that's just my generic taste in music, nothing wrong with the actual song. But I think it's a very powerful song. It gives me a Hobson vibe. Hobson's an artist that likes to just throw like aggression and, you know, the things that people try to not talk about and just go off in a song. It's something Hobson does a lot that I love about Hobson, that I really got that vibe here from Crypt. And, you know, anytime you're getting comparisons to artists like Hobson, you're probably doing something right, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get into Rappers Do Not Like Me. Boy, ain't that the truth about me. Are you making songs about your boy Skeem, Crypt? All right, here we go.
Rappers do not like me cause I see right through they bullshit. Rapping about a life they do not live, you cannot fool Crypt. Spitting about them guns, but they know nothing about them full clips. And if I lay the chopper on their lap, you see they full of shit. Zach, all these motherfuckers act up when they post on the gram and they act up. I saw a dude post a clip the other day, but the clip wasn't even in the fucking gun. Bro, what the fuck, it got cold outside cause you putting on the front. You can't fool a motherfucker that knows how to use the gun, put it back in your pocket, you ain't scaring no one. Rappers be doing the most, they be posting these pictures riding in a ghost, but we know it is rented by the buddies folks. Only one that you have is your Snapchat code, so give it back that rolls and roll your ass out. Your life is about as fake as that deal you turned down. Rappers always telling tons of fables. Rappers always.
I'm sorry, I know we're not pausing, but there is no way I could let this man say your life is about as real as the record deals you turned down without pausing. Bro. Whoo. All right. This one also has futuristic on it. This is that fun rap shit. This is the kind of rap song that you'd find me on. Like, this is my vibe. This is that alternative weird ass calling out the bullshit of rap culture rap. This is the kind of rap song I can get behind. Let's go. Sorry about the pause. I couldn't help on that. You can't not pause on a bar that cold. Also, good job, Gatsby, on your ad-lib cameo.
We're saying fuck a label, but if it actually happened, they'd be cracking quicker than a DJ scratching at the turntable. Rappers always saying fuck the fame. Rappers always say it's my time. Rappers always say they run the game, but I see them limping on the sidelines. Cause rappers do not like me cause I see right through they bullshit. Rapping about a life they do not live, you cannot fool Crypt. Spitting about them guns, but they know nothing about them full clips. And if I lay the chopper on their lap, you see they full of shit. Rappers do not like me, I don't give a fuck. Rappers do not like me, throw my middle fingers up. Rappers do not like me, they say I'm not enough. Rappers do not like me, won't you come and get some? Rappers do not like me, I don't give a fuck. Rappers do not like me, throw my middle fingers up. Rappers do not like me, they say I'm not enough. Rappers do not like me, won't you come and get some?
Low-key, maybe high-key, no, these rappers do not like me. Cause I cracked the code, I made the mold that everyone come bite me. It's unlikely that you talk up on the web but wanna fight me. Cause in person, you a bitch. I took a picture with your wifey, yo. Say cheese for the camera, I'm a pro, you an amateur. Niggas get real weird when they get a little cop, but we both know you broke as a janitor. Really never been a fan of you, I got goons that'll handle you. I don't wanna shake hands with you, I got 3 mil chillin' in the bank right now. I ain't even got a manager, cause I be on my shit. You should quit, haters for the weak. Made it front of mud, but you stuck, blaming it on me. That's a trip, but acknowledge them, waiting we gon' see. Wanna diss, book me for a feature, eat you for a fee. It's indie amplified, ample time to spit it and tantalize. Handsome guys still killing it, all you do is fantasize. Handle mine, I know they mad at me, but I just love them. That's the last guy that came and diss me, how I ended that discussion, come on.
Rappers do not like me cause I see right through they bullshit. Rapping about a life they do not live, you cannot fool Crypt. Spitting about them guns, but they know nothing about them full clips. And if I lay the chopper on their lap, you see they full of shit. Rappers do not like me, I don't give a fuck. Rappers do not like me, throw my middle fingers up. Rappers do not like me, they say I'm not enough. Rappers do not like me, won't you come and get some? Rappers do not like me, I don't give a fuck. Rappers do not like me, throw my middle fingers up. Rappers do not like me, they say I'm not enough. Rappers do not like me, won't you come and get some?
Bro, I love this song. Oh, man. All right, so that was probably the most We Scheme song I've ever heard that didn't have me on it. That was 100% beat, cadence, lyrical content. That's my shit. That's the stuff that I do. I need to I need to be on that type of joint next time Crypt does it for sure. That is my pocket right there. Like I absolutely love that song because it's what I enjoy doing in rap. That's like my vibe in rap, and it's not like a hugely popular pocket to be in either, but I fuck with it heavy. So loved that track. That was good. We're 6 tracks in, and 2 of them I've absolutely adored. And for me, that's a pretty good ratio on an album. I have pretty damn high standards of what I like or not, and even the ones I didn't love, I still enjoyed. So, Skeem remix. If Crypt wants to give me the beat and wants me to do that, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know how Crypt would feel about me adding a verse to that. I think if he wanted me to have a verse on that, he probably would have. He probably would have asked. he's doing something else. It's fine. But I definitely loved that song. All right. Who You Know is the next one. Song number 7. Who You Know.
Who you know rapping about the shit that they think when nobody else calling all the shots that they make? I could drop a song tomorrow when I wouldn't have to borrow permissions to like these other rappers you think are great. Who you know turning down a couple $100 grand from a company that wanted to control your whole brand with a 5-year deal? Everybody's in a dumb, but I'm in year 1, already matched their hand. Who you know rapping that is their own boss? Who you know who's had in the pen is so raw? Who you know collabing with the idol that they got a couple canvases of them hanging on the studio wall? Bitch, me, I'm bad with it. Disproving what them critics had written. 1 minute I'm trash, for the next minute fabulous. Got them going back and forth at the playing the game is a badness. My mind is a labyrinth, so many paths to pick, traveling faster, end up where the casket is. Accidents happen whenever I rap, cause I'm packing that heat like the spice in a cabin. And I'm too dope like those hits of cocaine. Flows gas, I'm only spitting the propane. It's so sad that rappers thinking they so great, cause when they compare themselves to me, there ain't no way. Moving to the side lane, ole. I'm in the fast track, you in the slow lane. Yo, rap career is like a basket of dirty jackets because you got no game. Who you know rap like me? Who you know spaz on the beat? Who you know smash every track that he raps on? That's a guarantee. Bitch, me. Who you know pack that heat? Who you know stack that cheese? Who you know have no beef with the COYPT? Me, bitch, me. Who you know rap like me? Who you know spaz on the beat? Who you know smash every track that he raps on? That's a guarantee. Bitch, me. Who you know pack that heat? Who you know stack that cheese? Who you know have no beef with the COYPT? Me, bitch, me. Name another rapper that can do what I do. Sing his fucking heart out while playing guitar too, and drop bars harder than guarding Abdul-Jabbar and carve through flows like a harpoon. I'm sick with it, this shit I spit is ridiculous, cause I'm quick with it. Funny, everyone forgets that I'm equipped with the gift to spit venom until they listen and pick Crypt on their list, bitch. I never quit winning. I can tell you a story with a twist. Rap it really slow or rap it really quick, or rap on any beat, make it sound sick. Get so many clicks, sounding like a metronome's in this bitch, like tick, 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 tock. Time is up according to my wrist watch. I'm versatile, full of sauce like lasagna. You versatile, awful in every genre. Who you know rap like me? Who you know spaz on the beat? Who you know smash every track that he raps on? That's a guarantee. Bitch, me. Who you know pack that heat? Who you know stack that cheese? Who you know have no beef with the COYPT? Me, bitch, me. Who you know rap like me? Who you know spaz on the beat? Who you know smash every track that he raps on? That's a guarantee. Bitch, me. Who you know pack that heat? Who you know stack that cheese? Who you know have no beef with the COYPT? Me, bitch, me.
All right, so that was Who You Know. That was that's what we call a flex rap song. You know that I'm not a big flex rap guy, but what I will give that song credit for is that hook was a stank face hook, like a nod your head stank face hook. I could listen to that hook a lot. The verses aren't going to do much for me because even though he's spitting nothing but facts, I just don't care about flex rap usually. Even when I do it and go back and listen to it, I'm like, I know that's how I was feeling at the time, but I just don't enjoy listening to it. It's just me. But that hook was fire as fuck. Like that's the song that like you get the whole crowd hyped over. Like you get everyone jumping. So I'm not hating on it, but you know, that's that braggadocious party vibe. There's definitely a time and place for it. It's not usually my personal taste, but that hook makes me forgive all else. Stage song for sure, says Crypt. Yeah, like I was just saying, that's the thing that bumps that crowd up. Let's go. So now we're into voicemail. Song number 8, voicemail. Yeah, I want to see Crypt on a stage again soon.
Where were you on the nights that I sat by myself in my room, out my mind, trying to handle my health, all alone on the phone, hoping you pick up the cell. But now I know how it goes when I get your voicemail. Where were you on the nights that I sat by myself in my room, out my mind, trying to handle my health. All alone on the phone, hoping you pick up the cell. But now I know how it goes when I get your voicemail. So many times I've cried, so many times I've hurt, so many times I've tried to die and take a ride in that long black hearse. But I called you first, but you ignored me, cause you knew that my life was piss pouring. You would move to the side when it gets gory, and then you would arrive when my mood would subside and I get a victory. It's funny how these people tell you that they'll always be there for you through the thick and thin, cause when you lose and they ain't nowhere to be viewed until you improve and begin to win. Then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere and act like they've always been there, like you weren't the one that was braving the storms. They just seen the weather's fair and they want to claim you when you get well, and they'll be quick to say that you're friends and they always knew that you'd excel. But you weren't there on the night I had a gun to my head with a one-way trip to hell. So don't you ever dare to look away. All you fair weather friends are faking. If you don't think it's fair, then I'll say, where were you on the nights that I sat by myself in my room, out my mind, trying to handle my health? All alone on the phone, hoping you pick up the cell. But now I know how it goes when I get your voicemail. Where were you on the nights that I sat by myself in my room, out my mind, trying to handle my health? All alone on the phone, hoping you pick up the cell. But now I know how it goes when I get your voicemail.
You see, friendship should be crystal clear, but with some of y'all, the shit hard to tell. When the chips were down, yelling, give a fuck, weren't picking up when I called your cell. But then it changed, and I bought a chain, and I bought a house, and I bought a range. Now they calling back, want an autograph, for they cussing and wanna come hang. Shit, it's not even like I'm still pissed at them, cause carrying that shit is toxic. And now, I'm way more rich than them. I'm too busy counting my profits, took my shot to explode. Y'all ain't acknowledge me, so you can still come to my shows. You'll just get charged to the dough. Yeah, I cut out all of them fake ones. I'm riding out with my day ones, and we still tight as fuck. Breaking bread, taking vacations. Ain't mad at you at all. Too many plaques up on my wall. I'm not trying to be a dick, but you should've picked up my call.
Where were you on the nights that I sat by myself in my room, out my mind, trying to handle my health? All alone on the phone, hoping you pick up the cell. But now I know how it goes when I get your voicemail. Where were you on the nights that I sat by myself in my room, out my mind, trying to handle my health? All alone on the phone, hoping you pick up the cell. But now I know how it goes when I get your voicemail.
So that was Voicemail. Now I can't go into all of the things that I relate to this song for the sake of my anonymity and past music projects. I just texted Crypt about it because that song, and Mrs. Skeem would probably know why, Crypt's concept of, leaving a voicemail for someone, leaving your emotions to an ignored call, and this person claims that they're like your friend. That concept was a big part of some other projects that I had in the past when some labels were interested in me, and I just the connection there was just ridiculous. One day you guys will know in more detail why this song is insanely relatable for me. And I just I was like, what in the hell? So I like the song overall beyond that as well. I like the sound of it. Very, very pleasant tones, guitar solo ending. I think as far as the deeper songs on there, I've preferred the other ones. Bad Friend was one, and Call It Quits. But, I still like that one a lot. Sorry, Mrs. Skeem texted me. All right, so let's go into, we'll turn on the video again for this one. This is Bad Friend. I did a reaction to this song already. This song I absolutely love, but I know I got the wrong moral message from it. Because this song I know is really more about Crypt doing the right thing, the hard thing, and saving someone's life over it. Is kind of how I feel I'm supposed to take it. but I took it as Crypt protected himself from a piece of shit person who was faking suicidal tendencies. When I was doing the reaction as the song went on, I was confused as to why this person was like crying and during a suicidal episode, because that's so unusual for an actual suicidal episode to be that emotional. Usually there's a lot more of a dullness to a real suicidal episode. And so that was kind of confusing. And then when Crypt called for a wellness check, this person like wrote them out of their life. And I was like, oh, that's why, because they were just faking for attention, which I'm pretty sure is not the message I'm supposed to take from this song, but it's the message I took from this song. So here we go.
2:30 in the morning and I get a text from my friend. She said, I need you right now, and I already knew what that meant. See, me and this girl, we think alike. Too many phone calls spent for me to know she's thinking about her life and how it's gonna end. See, on the outside, we're happy, and we show it to the world. And we put on this fake exterior so the truth won't unfurl. But I know who she is, cause it's like looking in a mirror. All these smiles and cries for help, and it couldn't be any clearer. So I pick up the phone and call her as she answers through her cries. She's hyperventilating, telling me that she wants to die. My heart starts to race and my thoughts begin to blur. We're 9 hours apart, but I'm seconds from losing her. I try to calm her down and tell her what she means to me. Even though we're new friends, she's seen a side that no one sees. Told her, listen to my breaths, I'm right here, please breathe. You got so much left to do, stay here, don't leave. The cries got even louder as the breaths got short. I told her, listen to my words as I fell down to the floor. Stay with me, I'm here, let it out, it's okay. Just cry till you can't cry, no more tears down your face. A couple minutes went by and the crying finally stopped. But not because she did, because the phone call dropped. I called her back quick, just hoping I'd hear hello. But I just kept getting met with the sounds of those dial tones. I froze. What do you do in that moment? Do you call the police, or do you hope that she's over it? Get a hold of her parents and tell them the situation, just so they can pull her from college and end her aspirations. Leave it alone and hope it was just an escapade. Pray from a text from her in the morning saying that she's okay. Call anyone you know just to make sure that she's alive. Ignore it completely and pray to God that she survived. I let it go. She must have wanted to be alone. I guess that this was just another one of her episodes. She never told no one about this depression she dealt with. And who was I to air out her secrets? That would be selfish. So I lay down in my bed and I rested my head. Closed my eyes and drifted peacefully to sleep. Then I dreamt that I would see her tomorrow and I would speak to her then. Till I was woken to several missed calls and texts that she's dead. My heart broke. She downed a bottle of pills. She took them shortly after our call ended, and it felt surreal. She was a friend of many, a student athlete at her school, a daughter, a sister, a very special jewel. At the funeral, they told us that nobody had a clue that they could have saved her life, if only that they knew. And if someone at the funeral had ever felt depressed, to get some help so that your face won't ever end up in the press. There wasn't a dry face in the room, only 22 years old, an entire life in front of her, and now she's laying there cold. If only I'd called someone, we wouldn't be here now, and nobody would be sad, and I wouldn't feel like I let her down. But that's not what happened, cause instead of going to bed, I called every person I knew to check to make sure you weren't dead. I stayed up 7 hours praying every second of it, just hoping to get a text saying that you weren't heaven sent, but then I got it. You told me that I had no right, and blocked me on everything, and we ain't talked since that night. Was I a bad friend? Options? I had none. I guess I'd rather be a bad friend than a sad one.
So yeah, I love this song. It's some of the best storytelling rap in the YouTube rap scene, at the very least. Good storytelling rap that actually like just takes you on that journey is not always easy. Story by NF was a really good one too, but the only thing I didn't like about it was that I didn't understand the point. Like, it was just kind of a random story. I prefer storytelling rap when there's like a personal connection to it. And if there was a personal connection to NF's story, he never made that clear. But this, it was an amazing story, don't get me wrong, but it just kind of felt like a random dude telling a random story. But Bad Friend, I loved this story. Like I said, I take the wrong moral message from the song. I'll take the L on that because it's still the message that I'm going to take from it. But I love that song. I love how it sounds. It's a fantastic song. I said that in the original reaction. I still feel that way now. And so now song number 10, Is It True?
Grandpa! Hey, Grandpa, come here. I want to play a game with you, Grandpa. Let's play some truth or dare. I'll go first. Is it true that when my mom was 2, you started to abuse her? Lost your wife and decided mama would be a new one? Is it true what they say about your place, or just a rumor that it's hotter than you can imagine there with Lucifer? Is it true that when you spent a couple years behind bars, you lied and told my mama that you got in a fight at the bar? Is it true that instead you were picked up by the feds cause you were transporting minors across the border for sex? Is it true that all your buddies would come and lay on the couch, get high on some pills, and you threatened to pass her around? Is it true that when she said that she would tell what you did, you told her you would kill her if she ever opened her lips? Is it true that you're uncomfortable? I'm sorry, let me back off. I'm sure you haven't thought of this in years, or even at all, but I'll make this so much easier. Dares are way more fun. Let's spice this game up a bit, Grandpa. You ain't no punk. I dare you to try to make it right, all those things that you did, how you took delight in innocence of your very own kid. I dare you to try to blame it on your own mental health. Tell me that you were sad, tell me that your kid helped. I dare you to try to tell me that you loved her too much, cause you don't even know what love is, you miserable fuck. I dare you to try to right all these wrongs you did in your life, but you can't fix it, eternity isn't enough time. I dare you to lie to me, that's a sight I'd like to see, because hell has no fury like the fire inside of me. I dare you to make excuses, I dare you to justify it, I dare you to disprove it, I dare you to survive this, but I dare you to meet me at the gates of hell when I come, cause I'll be there for a moment, and you and me can have fun. It really is a shame that I don't even know your name, cause if I did, I'd go to Tulsa and I'd spit on your grave. I thank God I never got the chance to meet you, cause I probably would have been the one that killed you. After Mama told me all those things you did, you're lucky that a heart attack got you before her kid.
I need Crypt to stop living the same life that I lived at some point. Except for me, I'd be doing the song about my grandmother and my great-grandfather rather than my grandfather. My grandfather's biggest crime was turning a blind eye to it. My grandmother never went to jail because she didn't get caught, but she did a lot of this shit. That song was an absolutely perfect song. And, like, there's definitely a musical vibe of NF to it. But Crypt's of vocal cadence and emotional crescendos were so much more powerful than Nate's repetitive gets to the same level of growl in every song. If you get to the same emotional peak in every song, it starts to lose its impact. So with NF, I've heard enough NF that his emotional crescendos have lost their impact. They were really big for me at first, but they've kind of worn off because it always sounds the same, and it's almost in every song he sounds this way. When an artist refrains from doing that and saves it for certain songs and then leaves some of the more rawness of the emotion rather than just a trained vocal performance, it has a lot more resonating impact. And that's why a song like this is going to be more emotionally impacting to me than another artist that does similar songs like NF. This, for me, is probably going to be one of my favorites, if not my favorite, on the album. And it's crazy. Crypt and I haven't really ever sat down to talk about life stories, but every time I hear his music talking about a life story, we've had a lot of similarities, a lot of overlap. My grandmother, like I said, a lot of the stuff you heard in this song, that was my grandmother. How my dad made it out, because it was, to my dad rather than to my mom, is, religion is how my dad made it out and isn't completely insane. Most of his brothers died early, young ages because of the kind of upbringing they had. My dad and his sister, the only ones that came out. The rest of them, I either don't know anymore or they're dead. So this resonates with me because my grandmother did all of this shit. And I've heard it from my father, and I knew her, though. I knew her and was around her. My parents were very, very careful when I was around her and the family. And we didn't see them very often, and I knew why as I grew up. All right, so now we're going to just try to move on from that one to number 11, Like Me.
I'm at the point where I'm tired of giving chances. People take advantage of me, then they up and vanish. I'ma paint this perfect picture so that you can see I'm damaged. But just like its name is Nate, it'll probably stay on the canvas. See the skill that I brandish, it's overlooked like a canyon. It makes me mad enough to savage up and load up a cannon and blow it at the...
Sorry, we've heard this one, so I'm gonna put up the video for it. I didn't realize this was on the same album. Here we go.
I'm at the point where I'm tired of giving chances. People take advantage of me, then they up and vanish. I'ma paint this perfect picture so that you can see I'm damaged. But just like its name is Nate, it'll probably stay on the canvas. See the skill that I brandish, it's overlooked like a canyon. It makes me mad enough to savage up and load up a cannon and blow it at the planet. For ignoring this gold in the hand, it's so misunderstanding what you're looking for. I've shown you Atlantis. Once upon a time, there was a little kid, his name was me. Dripped of ripping tracks apart like a barber that can hardly see. He grew up to be big and strong, pissing the industry off, wishing they'd listen cause they missing what sets Crypt shit apart. But I'd have made it without a label, without a deal. It's not a fable, just cop the crib on top of a hill. So I can watch you as you continue the hate you say, but yell it loud cause I'ma yell this back at your face. You won't ever be in the zone like me. No one will blow up your phone like me. Won't ever go on the throne like me. Hot damn, I'm the man and you wanna be just like me. You won't ever be in the zone like me. No one will blow up your phone like me. Won't ever go on the throne like me. Hot damn, I'm the man and you'll never be just like me. So now it's time to flex, go home with that disrespect. I've been complimented by legends, even got a song with. So when you talk that mess, it goes in one ear, out the next, and travels down my side and intertwines inside my pen. I ain't got room inside my head for these dudes that sounding upset at my clout and success. I'm bound to be crowned around as the best, while you just pout that you're not next up. Boy, just get your checks up. I do this shit for real, but you just out here playing dress up. I will mess up any motherfucker that comes my way. I'ma step up from the other duds that claim they spray. Cause I'ma do what I say I'ma do, and that's on the Bible. That's final and primal, there's only so much I can't take. Yeah, I'm in beast mode and I'm running like I got a cheat code. And the shit is easy like a free throw. Put him in my position and he froze, he's finito. Why would you say that I'm out with the flames? Keep lying that way and you'll lie in the grave. Sleep quietly while I am climbing, and I'ma keep rhyming this way. I'm at the height of my game, cause they say I'm whack as fuck, but I don't care what they told ya, cause I'm about to blow way bigger than Cardi B's areolas. So let's go ahead and take a poll, cause I know I'm better than most ya. Your flow's boring like a bowl cut, my flow's turning over oceans. Everybody coming at me when they gonna stop though. I remember when nobody knew me, I was lost though. Then I made a name and everybody was the famous, so they tried to put me out like they saw smoke. Wrong note, unexpected like I was a pothole. Never get the support of my peers like a lost boat. Now you wanna help me try to get a bit of fame, but the only time I'ma pull strings for you's on the crossbow. You won't ever be in the zone like me. No one will blow up your phone like me. Won't ever go on the throne like me. Hot damn, I'm the man and you wanna be just like me. You won't ever be in a zone like me. No one will blow up your phone like me. Won't ever go on the throne like me. Hot damn, I'm the man and you'll never be just like me.
Been a while since I heard that one, but it still holds up. I still very much enjoy that song. It's another flexing type song, but a different feel for a flex song. And I'm a big fan of it. You know, he has the We Skeem diss in that song. If you didn't catch it, go to my reaction. It's not an actual We Skeem diss, but that's what we call it. All right, so this album so far, what's interesting, it's a very personal album. And then it's just very bizarre how many parallels to my life it is. I rudely texted Crypt. I said, Crypt is living, you know, my sloppy seconds life, because I'm quite a bit older than Crypt. But he's telling me all these life experiences. I'm like, yeah, that's me. All the rumors about Crypt and I being the same person apparently are more true than I gave credence to as I'm listening to this album. So let's listen to song number 12, There For You.
And I'll be there for you. I know it's hard for us to love the way we knew before they broke our trust. And I'll be there for you. I know we don't have much, that don't matter to me. All I need, all I want is your love.
On the nights that no one's there, you always are. When the phone calls get ignored, I know you're never far. And every time my heart aches, you're always there for me to vent. So when the world puts its weight on my chest, I breathe with your breaths. And from the times I was broke up until the time I was rich, you never switched how you treated me. You see me the way I wish. You always hold me to the highest standards, unafraid to let me fall. Because when I get back up, you know it's better just to dust me off and let me learn by example and toughen up my thoughts. Sometimes you got to touch the stove just to know it's hot. And you can tell me not to touch it 100 times, but until my skin is burned, I'll never know what the pain is like. And no, I never want that pain again. That's like our relationship. Every time when things get tough, I think of parting ways, but then I think about the days before we ever existed and realize I couldn't last without you a single minute.
And I'll be there for you. I know it's hard for us to love the way we knew before they broke our trust. And I'll be there for you. I know we don't have much, that don't matter to me. All I need, all I need, all I need, all I want is your love.
So many times I've gotten messages from fans saying that I saved their life, saying I'm the man, saying that without me and this music that I make, that their life would have ended long ago. And that's hard to take, because I know how many times I've tried to take my own life, and you're the one that stopped me and told me to go home and write. So really it's you, you're the one that we should all thank. You brought me closer to my family and even closer to faith. You brought me into the life of a family that lost their son, but would comfort their other one when my records were spun. And to my homie Ben, just know that you've done much more for me than I could ever do for you. And I know that's hard to see. You made me fall back in love with the one I wrote this song about, and reminded me of the pain from the stove inside of my house. I'd rather live one day with her than 1,000 without her laugh. I call her the love of my life. You can call
And
her
I'll
rap.
be there for you. I know it's hard for us to love the way we knew before they broke our trust. And I'll be there for you. I know we don't have much, that don't matter to me. All I need, all I need, all I need, all I want is your love.
All right, so that was There For You featuring Atlas. Atlas's voice is amazing. That song feels like a radio song all day. I think someone just actually commented that. This album, I want to wait till the very end to say some things that are in my brain, so I'm going to save it. But I've got some stuff to say about this album as a whole that I'm just going to see through the end to make sure that that's how I feel at the end. Rapping in My Closet, we have also heard, so we're going to get the music video up here. And so let's get the music video for Rapping in My Closet, and we're coming to the final stretch. Sundays with Grandma. We'll see what that is. Reminds me of something that's gonna be real sad. The title kind of gives me a reminiscence of a mix between my songs Sunday Morning and Flowers for Mom. That one's gonna be something. And then we got a music video for Buried Alive. I haven't seen that or heard it yet. So here we go.
I just try to stick to myself. There's too many snakes in the grass. Too many fakes in the game. Many two-faced men with holes in my back. I just wanna write my raps and retire my mom and my dad. So excuse me, please. I'ma do me, and you can get the fuck off my back. Yo, I'm almost to 1 million. I made it without spending a single cent on the pay-per-click AdSense. Other rappers wanna say they didn't pay for their promotion, but I got papers that say this shit's a fat fib. Now I don't know if rappers diss me on the low so they can brag to their friends that they diss me and I didn't even know. But you can tell by their tone that they know that they don't stand a chance if we go toe-to-toe. But I digress this, why stress this? Lines don't concern yourself with sheep, white test Crypt. Boy, I'm on fire like a tire in a wreck pit. Try and blow at my flame, boy, that's a death wish. It's becoming common misconception when I rap it. People think I'm babbling about nothing. But I'm saying twice the stuff in half the time. You complain cause you tried and it came out sucking. Fuck, every day back on the same topic. When it's gonna stop? All this dissing is nonsense. I would rather work together than to bitch about it. Get up on the record with me, spit it, then we'll get a crowd to sit around and listen to us spitting. Then we'll get a tally of the better sounding spitter. It's simple, it's getting. I'll go count it out. I guarantee that you will see that all your votes ain't even close to equaling half of the votes from me. What a scheme that was. All this shit is so fun. I'm just rapping cause I'm happy. You just rapping cause you lunch. And I lead you up like I always do. Another fat joke, but it's oh so true. And I can't help but do it. So go review it and focus only on that and not the soulful music. Upload your stupid stupid little hopeless review bitch and hope it grows to get vocals and views. It's sad that these people wanna talk shit when they never met Crypt, cause I would befriend them, but why do I expect nothing but respect from these specs of the rap game? They're nothing but dust. You and I both know that I'm better than most and your whole career is a bust. So give me my rose while I can't smell those, and I'll go ascend to the sun. This the last time that I will address it. All these negative comments, you know I have an ill obsession. Suddenly when I rap about my depression, I sound like an F, and that's a definite way to discredit all my messages. I'm sounding like me every time I'm on the beat. Stop comparing me to others and then maybe you will see. That's no disrespect in 80s, one of the greatest in the game, but the second you take away that I'm rapping about my pain, I'm gonna snap and go insane, cause I dealt with it on the daily. Maybe think before you say this shit, I begin to speak my way. Hey, album reviews just came in. Tales from the Crypt got a 3 out of 10. A guy told me that I rap too much about my dead grandma and that I sound like a bitch. Wow, some of y'all have no soul. She was my best friend, but she didn't even know that I made a lot of dough from spitting infinite flows. Even though some of y'all say I stole a bunch of those, but when I ask what I stole, y'all don't even know, cause I never stole shit but the art from your home, and y'all lost it. This is nonsense. I'm on the way to blow up, y'all watch this. I just turned down a 6-figure deal. Fuck trying to appeal. I'll keep rapping from my closet.
So we all know that was the that track was the response to my diss track on Crypt. Mrs. Skeem just pointed it out. You know, you got the Skeem and the fat joke. I've compared Crypt to NF like at least 3 times. I don't mean that as a disrespectful way. It's just NF took that style, and it's what you always think of. But yeah, that was Crypt's diss response to my. I'm just a lot of you probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but it was a joke diss track that Crypt actually really hated me for a while for that track, but it was fire. It was just a fire track, so Crypt came around eventually. But that song, I remember from a while back, it's such a good song. So many good fucking bars and schemes in it. Of all the flex songs on this album, the songs that are like flexing or defending himself in the YouTube community, Rapping From My Closet is, for me, leaps and bounds the best of them. It might be the oldest too. Go figure. But that one is definitely my favorite. It feels the most just straightforward, structured, the best level of fuck you to it. I really like that one for a flex and fuck you song. So we're into the last 2 songs. Sundays with Grandma. I feel like this is a get your hankies ready type of song, so let's just get to it.
I had just turned 16 when I learned how to drive. My whole life in front of me, I had nothing but time. With the open road and a tank of gas, I had one place to go. Down to Willow Drive to see the purest soul. Right about now, it's been 3 years since Grandma's been alone. She needs me now more than she ever did since Grandpa's down the road. So I pull on into her driveway and she's waiting at the door with a smile across her face that I'd never seen before. And she said, come on in and sit on down. I'm frying this chicken until it's nice and brown. And wait till I tell you about the things I found out about my neighbor too. She is a Baptist small town gossip queen, and she'd tell it all to me. Sunday lunch with Grandma, making memories. I was 18 when I moved off to school, and Grandma was sad. We had made a routine full of love and food every weekend that had passed. On the Sundays that I couldn't come home, she'd call me every time with a brand new story about the folks at church and how they'd always sing too high. And she'd say, honey, I hate to bother you, but this damn TV remote, can you tell me how to fix it, please? And then I'll let you go. So I laugh and tell her what she needs. It was our running joke. And I'd say, Grandma, when I come home, I will see if it is broke. And she'd say, come on in and sit on down. I'm frying this chicken until it's nice and brown. And wait till I tell you about the things I found out about my neighbor too. She is was a Baptist small town gossip queen, and she'd tell it all to me. Sunday lunch with grandma, making memories. I graduated school when I was 22, and she was proud as could be. I had a girl I would marry till our love grew weary, and one day she'd up and leave. And I cried a river of tears, and my grandma cried too, 'cause she knew how much it hurt me, and that hurt her too. And she said, I won't always be around, but don't ever let another woman bring you down. Baby, please never forget your worth. No woman on earth can know just how good you are with a heart of gold. You're a man of some girl's dreams, but until the day she finds you, you come and grab a bite to eat. So won't you come on in and sit on down? I'm frying this chicken until it's nice and brown, and wait till I tell you about the things I found out about heaven. There's so much here to show you. I know you can't wait anymore. I miss Sunday lunches with grandma, but now she's cooking for the Lord.
And so how you doing, baby? I just captured your movie, and thank you for the supper last night. I love you. I'll see you later. Don't work too hard. Bye, baby.
So that's a country folk type vibe. And all I have to say is, fuck you, Crypt, for making me like something country folk. Fuck off. Damn it. Oh my god. That song is absolutely flawless. And fuck you, Crypt. Making me like something that's folk and country. It had the perfect type of storytelling. Fuck you for that one, Crypt. I didn't even have like that kind of relationship with my grandparents at all. But just, it doesn't matter. If you've had a close relationship with any human, that song's going to slap you because you're going to replace in your mind those people in your lives. So, fuck off. Fuck off trying to make me like something folk and country. So now we're on to the last song. The title song. Buried Alive. And there's a music video to it that I haven't seen. We're going to watch this together. We're going to talk about it. Then I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the entire album. So let's go.
Somebody save me from myself. I'm following my demons all the way to hell. Talking to God so far away. I'm falling down. I'm buried alive. Do you know what it's like to live your life in the eyes of the public while they wait to watch you fail? Every day they're looking for something old to bring up something new if they see you doing well. And God forbid you did some things in the past, man, you might as well just hang it up to dry. Cause in this day and age, change don't mean a thing. They'll cancel anything in sight. These people are casting stones for things they've done themselves. They just don't have a million people praying they fail and watching every move they make and honing on their mistakes and show the world that you're not who they think. The pressure keeps mounting higher. I no longer desire to live this life I chose, cause I'm no longer inspired. But these people require me to keep bringing the cipher, so I'll speak till I'm tired, holding my feet to the fire, screaming, somebody save me from myself. I'm following my demons all the way to hell. I'm falling down. I'm buried alive. like I read your mind, dude. Finding why would you even try to keep and hide secrets deep inside? You're speaking lies and redefined who I knew. What can I do? Stuck in my room, demons swirl around like typhoons. Life is like a tightrope that I'm walking in. I wanna take that rope and tie a noose. Preparing to die, scary inside. Bottomless lows, heroin highs. Staring in the eyes of death, I'm paralyzed. I guess it's time for them to bury me alive. Maybe now you see the bar you set for me is higher than the one that I can actually reach. This is what you wanted, raise your shovels high. Lay me in the dirty, bury me alive. Somebody save me from myself. I'm following my demons all the way to hell. Talking to God so my album Buried Alive.
All right, so that was the final song from the album Buried Alive. Let's talk about that song, and then we're going to talk about the whole album, the big verdict moment on this album. So, Buried Alive, honestly, I feel like I would have rather that track been somewhere dab center of the album. To be honest, I would have rather it ended with Sundays with Grandma. I get like the title track and the digging theme throughout kind of makes it require that this is the last song, but without the theme notion and the shovel sounds, I feel like that song does better as like a midway album explainer rather than an album ender. I think Sundays with Grandma would have been a better end, but that's just my opinion. So let's talk about the whole album now. Well, actually, let's talk about the actual song. The actual song is nice. It's got that build, that personal turmoil, the personal doubt. The bar set too high. He mentioned the YouTube ciphers in it. But of the dramatic songs, especially for the title song, I didn't resonate as one I liked as much as the other ones. I think it's a bit more personal and it does tie the album together, but it seemed, I don't know, parts of it seemed bigger than the song. I don't know if that makes sense out of anything except for my own brain. But needless to say, still not a bad song. I don't think this album had a bad song on it. Now, let's talk about the whole album. So the last album I did one of these reviews for was Quedeca's album, From Me to You. Now, Quedeca's album, if you missed that review, I'm just going to use that because that's the last big YouTuber that made an album. Quedeca's album, From Me to You, for me, was just an experimental hodgepodge. It didn't really have a lot of direction as much as I would like. It had a lot of songs that I would never listen to again, and the soundscapes of the interludes was painful. There was so much reverb in it. I respected the production talent, but I couldn't enjoy the actual album. This, on the other hand, this album doesn't try to do crazy artistic production things very often. It's very much more straightforward. A lot of these are very much more, rap beats that were produced, and sometimes there was more intense soundscapes. There's a lot of play with guitar that I'm assuming Crypt did himself and things like that. But musically, this was a bit more of a standard affair rather than, Quedeca's grand schemes and at times masterpiece music production. But I would actually listen to this again. I would actually go back and re-listen to this album, whereas I have little interest to listen to anything except for a couple songs from Quedeca's album again. This album is very honest. The vocals are very emotive, and almost every track you get an emotional slap to the face. You could tell Crypt put a lot of himself into this album in all the right ways. The other thing about this album is it's the first thing I've heard from Crypt that, although he has some themes that make it still feel like a YouTube album, overall, it doesn't feel like a YouTuber album. One thing that a lot of the YouTubers do that I don't personally like is they make their albums feel very much like they are a YouTuber making music. I don't like when the themes attach to that. I get that that's kind of like what a lot of us are going through, but I would like the music to just kind of stand outside of that. There were times that Crypt went into that pocket on certain songs, but the album as a whole didn't feel that way. And it's the most mainstream appeal album I've heard from Crypt. It's an album that most of the songs you could just play to anyone. They don't have to know the underground YouTube rap scene or whatever, and they'll still enjoy it, which I really like and appreciate. And it might be weird from me. I don't know if Crypt has stopped lurking or not. It might be weird coming from me, and I'll tell Crypt later if he's not lurking. But I feel proud of Crypt on this, and it's like, wait, you're proud of Crypt? He's like a million times bigger than you. Well, look, I've been producing music longer than Crypt. He might have been in the YouTube spotlight longer, but I've been doing this music thing longer. All right, and it's kind of like the best head coaches aren't always the best sports players. I think my music mind is up there, even though my music sometimes is out there instead of up there. But for me, the artistic growth of Crypt is something that makes me really proud of where he's gotten to, because his other albums felt so much more like a YouTuber making music, which was fine because I very much enjoyed them as a fellow YouTuber, but I never really understood how many other people would enjoy them. This album, I think, even if you're not a YouTuber, you will enjoy this album. And for me, it's somewhere fringing in like a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 album. Now, you might think that's bad, but for me, that's like really good, because 9 out of 10 albums for me are albums that are like fucking classics. Like The Sickness by Disturbed is a 9 or a 10 album. System of a Down, Toxicity is a 9 or a 10 album. You know, the Slim Shady LP is a 9 or a 10 album. So if I'm saying it's like a 7 or a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 album, that don't get it twisted. That's high fucking praise with the way I think about things. So definitely my favorite Crypt album. I'm going to be replaying a lot of these songs from this album. There are some that I'm not going to go back to. It's not a perfect album. There's definitely some songs that I would skip. But this is like 5 steps up for Crypt from what I'm used to hearing from him. This didn't feel like a YouTuber album from front to back. There were definitely times where he fell into that, but it wasn't the whole thing. And I found it mostly enjoyable. And the strongest songs for me are the ones when Crypt went very raw and emotional. Sundays with Grandma sticks out. I Won't Miss You sticks out. I liked Rappers Do Not Like Me because it was just so fun and so crazy. Bad Friend is obviously amazing. Rapping From My Closet is my favorite of his Flex songs. Those will be the main ones that I'm going to be going back to. So for me, I enjoyed this album far more than I enjoyed Quedeca's album. I'll actually go back and listen to this. I was very impressed by everything. And for me, it's the first Crypt album I've heard that doesn't feel like a YouTuber making music. Not that that's always a bad thing. I do enjoy those albums, but I think this one has a lot more appeal and staying power, and it was dope. So I'm just going to stick it with a... just because there's too many songs I would skip, I'm going to have to leave it at a 7.5 out of 10 rather than rounding up to the 8. So that's my official verdict, is 7.5 out of 10. And again, that's high praises. Don't try and twist my fucking words up, because I'm not comparing this to YouTube albums. I'm comparing this to anything I've ever listened to, anything I would listen to. In other words, he put himself up there with all the major label stuff that I've listened to if he's above the 7 range. Honestly, even a 6 means it was a pretty good album. So that's my conclusion. Loved this album. I highly recommend it. I already had a pre-ordered copy, so I'm going to be listening to this again later. Thanks for showing up, James. Thanks for the stupid amount of donations, $89 in total. This album was great. I very much enjoyed the album. Would recommend to a friend. And until next time, I scheme, you scheme, we all scheme. Actually, now I'm not going to bug Crypt. I was going to call him and say that I was proud of him and his new album, but he's trying to release his new album, so I'm not going to call him. So until next time, I scheme, you scheme, we all scheme for ice cream. Bye!